Hey guys, it's really great that you are joining here with us again today. And as you guys know, for the past couple of weeks, we've been looking at the people of God in the desert when they exited Egypt and kind of a bit of their story and some of the lessons that they learned. So we're going to sort of end off that story here today because it ends off in a very nice way. It actually continues all the way up until Jesus, but I want to end that story today, and then we're going to jump to everything about Jesus from next week onwards. And today's story is kind of this ritual that God had asked the people of God to do. You see, they went out of Egypt, they're in the desert, they complained to God, God provided, God gave them all sorts of like all sorts of ways to live, was teaching them all sorts of things, was providing for them for food, for water, everything that they needed. And it all came up to this one point, which was called Passover, which was kind of like this big festival that God had asked them to do. It was almost like a really great party, but it was there for an amazing and specific reason, which we're going to get into now. So this whole thing of Passover, God actually asked the people of God to do this amazing festival, this really, really great party. And what it involved was a whole lot of food that would be on a table, and everyone would become and joined, and they would join together as families around the table. And what they would do is that they would actually retell the story of how God saved them out of Egypt. And God was actually very clever. He wanted his people to remember what he had done for them. But it went so much more into that. There were so many other different rituals and cool things that they did in this festival. And one specific one, which I want to focus on, is this one where they brought out a lamb. And what they would do with this lamb is everyone would gather together, and the whole of the people of God would be together. And what they would do is they would basically they would kill this lamb. They would sacrifice this lamb. And what it would do is it would take on all of the sins, all the bad stuff that the people have done onto the lamb. And when the lamb died, all those sins and all those bad things that the people have ever done would die with the lamb. And so all the people were almost forgiven in that time. And as time went on, we go all the way up until when Jesus was born. And sometime after that, Jesus did his amazing ministry and all sorts of stuff. And then Jesus died on the cross. Jesus was the one who sacrificed himself on the cross. And so one of the disciples actually said, "Look, behold, this is the new Lamb of God." And what they were saying is Jesus was like this lamb from Passover. Jesus was this lamb that took on all the sin of all the people, and it died with him in the tomb. But this is the cool thing about Jesus, is that he didn't just stay dead in the tomb. Jesus was resurrected, which makes Easter such an amazing and mysterious time of the year. You see, back then during Passover, the lamb didn't resurrect itself. It didn't come back to life. Everything just died with the lamb. But when Jesus resurrected himself, it showed something amazing and showed something so new and so profound about God's amazing power and his amazing plan for his people. So this is what I want to kind of touch on today, is just a great time for us to actually look and almost marvel at God's plan. You see, God had an amazing plan right from the beginning. Like, he wasn't just going here and going there and making up stuff along the way. God had this great plan which brought the people of God out of Egypt, which God took care of them. God even made this whole festival happen so that all the sin, all the bad stuff of the people can actually die and go away, and the people can walk on anew. And the plan continued all the way up until Jesus, but even further and beyond that. So God's plan was for us to go out into the world. It wasn't just for Jesus to come and sacrifice himself. God wanted to show us his way. He wanted to show us God's way, which was to love other people. And that's his plan that continues forward. And so God looks to us to love our neighbors, to love him, to go out into the world and to love everybody around us. And so that is my challenge to you guys this week, is to be a part of that plan of God's, is to go out and love people. Maybe not in this time to go out and physically touch and hug and all sorts of stuff, but we can show love in amazing ways. And I'm sure you guys can figure out what are some of those ways that you guys can do. So that's my challenge to you guys this week, is find 1 or 2 times where you can actually love somebody else, not somebody in your immediate family. Try to think of somebody outside of your family. What are 1 or 2 ways that you can go out and love other people. And that's my challenge for you guys today. So we're going to finish off now, but I want to speak about something that's going to be happening next week. See, next week is actually a very important week in the church calendar. It's something called Pentecost. And if you guys don't know what Pentecost is, we're going to learn about it next week. But in preparation for this amazing time and this amazing story behind Pentecost, I want you guys to actually make almost like a Pentecost crown in a way. I'm going to put a picture over here so you guys can see. And this Pentecost crown, you can make it however which way you want, as long as it's got some sort of fire or light on it. And if you guys can, I want you guys to try to take a photo of you. If it's your whole family got one, that's great. Take a photo of you and either send it to me or send it to Nicola. I'll put her details up over here on the screen. And I want you guys to do that, because then next week we're going to show all of these videos and all these pictures of everyone with their Pentecost crown. So that's it for this week, guys. I'll see you guys next week.